Hey you guys, so over the last years I have analyzed easily at least 500 professionals from different walks of life, and as you know, I'm pretty obsessed with success, especially career success. So I want to share with you what I found from all of those different interviews that I have done and just all the people that I've spoken to and discussed their careers with. So just before we get started, if you don't know me, I'm Dahlia, and I help people to land work that pays them a lot of money and that they also love to do. So if you're there, let me know where you are and what kind of a job you have, just so we get an idea of what sector you guys are in. All right, so from the people I have spoken to, I have noticed there is a pretty clear divide between people who become super successful in their careers. And when we talk about success, I'm talking about they're happy, like they have that glow about them, they're excited, they're like, I'm working on this, I'm working on that, I can't wait to get out of bed in the morning, and their financial goals are also being met, and they just have this success. And the interesting thing about success, by the way, is when you become successful in one area of your life, that tends to spill over into other areas. And so this is the opposite of what most people seem to think, because so many people tell me all the time, oh, well, I just want this. I don't care about the money. I just want this type of success, Or I just want the money right now. I don't even care anymore about the happiness. Or it's like it's one or the other. But in reality, what happens when you become a successful person is that you're going to notice that your fitness gets better, your relationships gets better, your fulfillment gets better. Everything starts to get better. And the reason for that is because when it comes to career success, it's really about the person that you become. And I know that's not what anyone wants to hear. So many people talk to me and they ask me, hey, can you look at my CV? Hey, what do I need to do? I want to get a new job. Like, where should I look? Who can give me this job? And they're looking for these band-aid solutions. They don't want to have to actually transform who they are. And the truth is, if you want a new level in your life, you're gonna need to become a new person. Not that there's anything wrong with the person who you are right now, but I've seen this with every single one of my clients. They come into the program and they are great people when they start off. They're already successful. They've already achieved great things. A good example is Laura. She'd been working for a decade as a production designer. A lot of people would say, hey, I would kill to have your job. You're already so successful. Why do you want to make a change? But she wanted to get something different. She was ready for a new level in her life and in her career. So what does that mean? That meant she had to go back to the drawing board and transform herself into a new type of person. Obviously maintain certain things that were really great about her before and take all of those skill sets she'd already developed and some of the character traits that already served her into that next level, but she also had to develop some totally new character traits, and she had to do some things that she had never done in her life, because the way that she was used to job hunting was not the way that was going to get her the position that she actually wanted. So it's really, really important to be aware of this, because so many people go through life avoiding transformation. So they're willing to do anything as long as it has nothing to do with transforming who they are. And it's kind of a lie. It's a lie that you can get something without making that transformation, right? Without doing the work. And a lot of times people think doing the work means just being really active on LinkedIn, sending out lots of applications, messaging everyone you know and saying, hey, do you have a job for me? Or do you have ideas for me? They think that is doing the work, but that's not doing the work. That's busy work. That's just going through the motions. And a lot of times when I see people, the ones who are really, really taking lots and lots of action frantically like that, but not taking that step back and doing the difficult work, right? It's often an avoidance mechanism where they're doing all this busy work that doesn't actually work, doesn't actually get them to where they want to go, but it keeps them busy and it keeps them from really realizing they have a problem, that they can't get to that level if they don't transform who they are. Let me know if that makes sense, you guys. But this is so important, because people really are separated into these two categories. There are the ones who are constantly transforming, and that's, all you guys are always telling me, oh, I just want growth. I'm tired of being in a job that's mediocre, where I'm just going through the motions, where I'm trying to see the silver lining in the cloud, but the fact is I'm living in a fog, and this is not growing me, right? So everyone wants that growth, but then when it comes time to actually do things differently and get that growth, a lot of times subconsciously, people don't even realize they're doing this, they go back to their default, back to what they were doing before. It's like the other day I talked to someone, and please know I'm not targeting anyone here. If this sounds like you, like I've talked to a lot of people who have the exact same problem, so sometimes it might sound like I'm talking about you, but actually I'm talking about a lot of people right now. But I talked to this wonderful man the other day, and he was telling me how he was just feeling frustrated in his job because the work felt like it was the same work he'd been doing many years ago. So it's just a repeat of the same thing, not growing at all, feeling like he's just in limbo, feeling kind of like, is this all there is? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? And feeling like he's actually losing his competitive edge because he's not growing, he's not learning modern skill sets. So he told me all this, but then he told me also that it's been over years that he's been wanting a change, and yet he was so indecisive about actually making that change. So on the intellectual level, he's like, yes, I need a change. But at the same time, as soon as he would say he needs a change, he would start rationalizing and going back to, but maybe now is not like the best of time because of this, because of that, and, but it's not, my job's not that bad. I mean, at least the paycheck is good, and all this kind of stuff. And it was like one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. So it's really something to think about. Like when you're trying to, a lot of people have told me that they're trying to get a big career upgrade this year. This should be their year. This should be the time that things change around for them. And the problem is a lot of people are just looking for that quick fix. They're just looking for a little bit better than what I have right now. So I don't like this job, but if I could at least get X, Y, and Z, if I could at least get, a bonus this year, then maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Like I could live with it. Or if at least they would give me such a project, then I could live with it. But if that's where you're aiming, if you're here and you're aiming for here, what kind of a life is that? And I think people only do that because they think that if they aim low, then they're more likely to reach their target, and nobody wants to fail. So it's like, I better not even set a lofty target, and then I can guarantee myself that I will not fail, right? But actually what happens in reality is that if the bar is low, you're actually less likely to reach that low bar than if you had set the bar even higher. I think it's like that cliche expression, aim for the stars, hit the moon, or something like this. But it's true in practice. So if you're aiming too low, there's no excitement there. And I see this a lot with people unfortunately, who have been in positions which are mediocre, which are not helping them to live up to their purpose, which are not making them fulfilled. Every single day, they lose a part of them. Every day, their energy levels go down. They're drained when they get home from work. Every single day, they're becoming a lesser version of themselves. They're losing their confidence. And it can be really tough to come back from that place. When I think about the clients I've worked with, like some of them who were in that place, it took a lot of work for them to get out of it because they've just been so downtrodden and so used to just going through the motions, and because they don't like their jobs, they've had to almost create a shield around them, almost numb themselves to the pain, where you just focus on, all right, clock in, clock out, make it till 5, deal with the boss, deal with this, deal with that, and it's this constant just pulling yourself through to the next hour, and then the next day, and the next week, and how long until my vacation. And that kind of constant just going through the motions and just trying to make it to the next thing that you don't even really want to do really, really brings you down as a person, until the point that you're no longer a successful person, like a successful person with energy, with happiness, with excitement. you want to do things and you're excited to do them and you know you can do them because you have been growing and you've done a lot of really challenging projects, and so you have that esteem in yourself, right? And so people lose that and they can't even imagine what a really amazing life and a really amazing career looks like. So if you guys have been feeling like you're in a job where you're feeling stuck, where you're feeling like this is not the real you, like the person who goes to that office and does this work, that is not the real you. That's just someone who has to show up because you have bills to pay. If that is you, send me a message and we'll talk about this and we'll see if there's some way that I can help you to get out of that and into the thing that you really want. But send me a message if it's really something that's been on your mind, if it's your priority now that you know you need to fix this. And if you've been indecisive for a while, like if you've been following me for a while and you're going, oh, I think I need help with this, but I'm too afraid to write. I'm not a scary person. You can write to me and I promise I will help you to the best of my abilities. A lot of times when people write to me, sometimes we're actually able to resolve whatever issue they have within a couple of minutes. Obviously, for some people, it's more deep-seated issues. It takes a lot longer. Some people, the best option for them is actually to join my program, which I've talked to you guys about before. It's 8 weeks long. It's called Accelerate Your Ambitions, and that helps you go through an actual sequence, an actual systematic process to figure out what your dream role actually is, and then also gives you those hidden job market and branding skills to land those positions. So for some people, that is what they really need. But regardless, if you write to me, I can explain how that works, if it's a fit, and we can see where you are and where you want to go and how to get yourself out of this rut. And obviously, some of you are following me just for kind of tips and motivation, but you're pretty happy, you're pretty okay with your career right now, which is wonderful as well. I'm always really happy to see your comments on the posts and all of that. Feel free to ask questions if there's something specific that you want to know about. But otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Let me know if you have any questions on the replay, and we'll speak soon.